Good morning, class. Today we are going to learn World Trade Organization. Today we are going to learn about World Trade Organization, that is WTO. Okay. So the International Trade Organization, that is ITO. The International Trade Organization ITO was the purposed name for an intermission institution for the regulations of trade led by the United States in collaboration with allies. The efforts to form the organization formed in 1945 to 1948 with the successful passing of the Havana Charter eventually failed due to lack of approval by the US Congress until the creation of the World Trade Organization in 1995. International trade was managed through the General Agreement of Tariff and Trade, that is GATT. Then Director General Nkosi Okonjo-Iweala is the seventh Director General of the WTO. She took office on 1st March 2021, becoming the first woman and the first African to serve as Director General. Her term of office will expire on 31st August 2025. Then now see extra information about WTO. The World Trade Organization is a global trade organization that aims to promote free and fair trade among its member countries, with 166 members representing over 98% of global trade and GDP. The WTO is the world's largest international economic organization. Then see World Trade Organization, WTO. Full form of the WTO is World Trade Organization. The World Trade Organization is an intergovernmental organization headquartered in Geneva, Switzerland, that regulates and facilitates international trade. Governments use the international trade in cooperation with the United States nation systems. The WTO is the world's largest international economic organization with 164 members states represented over 98% of global trade and global GDP. It officially commenced operations on 1st January 1995. Now about WTO. The WTO means World Trade Organization, and it is a global trade organization that aims to promote a free and fair trade among its members. Then location, WTO is located in Geneva, that is Switzerland. When WTO is established, 1st January 1995. Who is created? So created by Uruguay round negotiations 1986 to 94. Then memberships. How many members are there? So 164 members representing 98% of world trade. Then budget of WTO 197 million Swiss francs for 2023. Then secretariat staff, so there 624, and head Ngozi Okonjo-Iweala, Director General. Total members 164. This is short information about WTO. Then now see objectives of WTO. Some objectives are there of WTO. Objectives of WTO as spelled out in its preamble to Marrakesh Agreement include to ensure reduction in tariffs and other barriers to trade. Second one is to eliminate discriminatory treatment in international trade relations. Third one is to increase in production and trade in services of members nations. Then last one is to members the standard of living people in the member countries. Now see functions of WTO. Administering WTO trade agreements, then forum for trade negotiations, then handling trade disputes, monitoring trade policies, technical trade policies, technical assistance and training for developing economics, then cooperation with other international organizations. So what is the main function of WTO? So WTO is cooperate with other international organizations, and WTO is also helpful for developing our economic system, our economies. Then what WTO do? Actual work of WTO. What is the actual work of WTO? See, first one is building trade capacity in developing economies. So, as I said, WTO is helpful for developing economies. Over three quarters of WTO members are developing or least developed economies. All WTO agreements contain special provisions for them, including longer time periods to implement commitments, measures to increase their trading opportunities, and support to help them build the infrastructure needed to participate in world trade. Then second one is technical assistance of training. The WTO organize hundreds of technical corporations missions to developing economies annually. It also holds many trade policy courses each year in Geneva for government officials. Regional seminars are held regularly in all regions of the world, and students with a special emphasis on African countries. Next one is disputes settlements. So WTO is helpful for settlements of disputes. The WTO procedure for resolving trade conflicts under the dispute settlements understanding is vital for enforcing the rules and therefore for ensuring that trade flows smoothly. So governments bring disputes to the WTO if they link their rights under the WTO agreements are being infringed. Then students, next one is intellectual property. The WTO's intellectual property agreements contains rules for trade in ideas and creativity. The rule states how copyright, patent, how copyrights, then patents, trademarks, geographical names used for identify products, then industrial designs and undisclosed information such as trade secrets. Intellectual property should be protected when trade is involved. Then functions of WTO facilitates international trade. Due to WTO, it is facilitated or it is possible to international trade. It facilitates international trade through the removal of tariff and non-tariff barriers. It provide greater make market access to all member countries. There is no partiality, so all members of countries can participate Then formulating of rules for conducting WTO. There are some rules are there. So let we see. It establishes a rule based trading regime in which nations cannot place arbitrary restrictions on trade. Then protecting the interest of developing countries. It frames fair global rules regulations. It safeguards and advocates the interest of the developing world. Then optimum utilization of world resources. It is also responsible to increase production and trade of services. It ensures optimum utilizations of world resources. Now, next, students, how many countries are member of the WTO? And 164 countries are member of WTO. Understood? Hence, while introduction time, I said that 164 members means 164 countries are member of WTO. Now, students, extra now see key objectives of WTO. So, reduce tariffs and barriers. The WTO works to eliminate or reduce tariffs, quotas, and other trade barriers to facilitate international trade. So, due to WTO, students, there are market is means market is where due to WTO facilitates improvement in markets, and so many buyers and so many sellers are there. So WTO actual helpful for businesses and for helpful for so many companies. There is no partiality, and due to WTO, all companies and all businesses can run smoothly. And WTO is also helpful for our countries also, for developing our economics, then technical and training purpose. WTO can also helpful. Then next is establish trade rules. The organization establishes and enforces rules for international trade, ensuring a level playing field for all members and countries. Then next, resolve trade disputes. So due to WTO helpful for resolve the disputes among trade. So the WTO provides a platform for resolving trade related disputes between members or countries. Then let me see the structure of WTO. The WTO is headquartered in Geneva, Switzerland, as we know. Then secretariat with over 600 personnel. The organization is led by Director General, currently who is Director of WTO. So, Ngozi Okonjo-Iweala, who is then responsible who is responsible for overseeing the day-to-day operations. Then impact. What is the impact of WTO? Studies have shown that the WTO has increased trade and reduced trade barriers, influencing trade agreements globally. The organization agreements are also referenced in the United nations and sustainable development goals as instruments for reducing inequality. So students, WTO is very helpful, and functions of WTO is very helpful for our nation. It is helpful for international trade also, and there are some internal factors, and external factors are also affecting on WTO. Sometimes WTO can handling trade disputes also, disputes between two sellers, and so many members are included in WTO. So WTO is helpful for handling trade disputes also, and WTO is very helpful. Why? Because WTO is cooperation with other international organizations also, and due to that international organization, WTO can run smoothly. Then WTO is monitoring trade policies and administering WTO trade agreements. While conducting or while running WTO, there are some agreements are there, and it is restricted. So WTO is monitoring trade policy, handling trade disputes, forum for trade negotiations, then administering WTO trade agreements, and cooperation with other international organizations. Some objectives of WTO, it is very helpful for our market to ensure reduction in tariff and other barriers to trade also. So sometime students, WTO is enables to due to WTO enables a reduction in tariffs, and so many barriers are there for trade. So WTO is helpful for barriers that trade, internal trade and external trade also. And second is to eliminate discriminatory treatment in international trade relations. So maintaining trade relations, WTO is very helpful to maintain international trade relations between or among the two companies, two countries. And due to WTO, and WTO can maintain or treat that relationships. WTO is conducting smoothly, or trade is running smoothly. And next is to increase production and trade services of members in nation. So due to WTO, na students, due to WTO, production level is and production quality is better, and due to that WTO firm or and WTO team, uh, we all can uh, we all can uh, ha- all can buy that services. Yes, and WTO is provide good service of members and nations. And due to WTO, there is increase in production. Next is to improve the standard of living of people. So class, due to WTO and WTO team, there is seriously there is a improvement in standard of living of people. So many people can improve their standard of living, and standard not only some people, but in the member of countries also. In today's world, marketing is also improvement, and world trade organization is marketing trade are the some parts of the WTO, means world trade organization. So due to WTO, our countries can sell the product based purpose, and WTO is very helpful for everyone. Yes class, thank you.